Should I leave the woman I love for her sake? I'm a 28 meters with a rare genetic condition that I only discovered a few days ago. Basically, I've gotten 5 to 20 years left in my life, and some of those years may not be pleasant. I love my wife dearly. She is the most important person in my life, and I would do anything for her. But I don't want her to be a widow in her late 40s. If I leave now, she's only 27 and she can rebuild her life and have a chance for children, which would be unethical with me, considering they would likely have the same condition. I would leave her with our home, which is paid for, and all of our belongings, and move back to my parents. They will likely outlive me. This sounds harsh, but the thought of her alone that early in life brings me to tears. I can't have her suffer for my sake. To shine a little light to your situation, I myself am in a similar situation. I'm dying and I don't know how much longer I have in this world. Like you, I know I have a medical condition that is causing an early death. Like you, I debated the same scenario. If someone wants to be a part of your life, let it happen. Enjoy the time you have and enjoy the people who want to be a part of your life. Ask her what she wants to do about it. Being a widow at late 40s is no big deal. I became a widow at 61 and remarried. I know many widows even at older ages who did remarry. So your fears for your wife's future are unnecessary. Perhaps you worrying about your wife's future is a way to avoid thinking about your own. So therapy to adjust to this new diagnosis might be beneficial. Making the decision without her is childish and selfish. That's your wife. Dude, tell her the truth. Talk it through with her. And decide what's best for your marriage together. Do not make the decision for your wife. Yes, she will more than likely want to stay with you, and yes, she will be a young widow, but isn't the point of marriage to stay till death to us part? Your wife loves you and she will want to stay with you no matter what. Talk to her and let her know that with your condition you don't want to be a burden and you can leave her if she wants that, but if she doesn't, stay and live your life to the fullest. Have you spoken to her about all this? Have you asked for her opinion and what she wants to do? Don't decide to leave on your own. You are married, so you should be able to communicate what your future will look like together. If she loves you, she will give you an honest answer. Do you know what hurts more than being widowed young? Having your spouse make the selfish decision on their own that you are somehow better off without them. Leaving would be more devastating, more life-altering, more life-ruining. In my opinion, if my husband did that to me, I don't think I'd ever recover. You need to tell her what's going on. You need to discuss with her everything that's happening and what you're feeling, and listen to what she's feeling. No. Part of marriage is ups and downs. Sickness and health. All that shit. You are supposed to be partners. It would be really disrespectful to make this decision on her behalf. Have an adult conversation with your wife about what is going on and what you guys should do about it. Don't do it. If she loves you, she'll be incredibly hurt by your actions. I promised my partner to be there with him through sickness and health. I would want to be there with him by his side if he were to get sick. I would be hurt and angry if he made a decision like that for me. 20 years is a long fucking time in the medical world. Who knows what will be available? You've only just received this life-changing news. And you both need time to think. Don't make any big decisions just now. Talk it through with her. Research the condition. And tell her all of your concerns. Once you've both had time to come to terms with what the future will hold, make a decision together. I'd rather have 5 years with my husband than 50 with someone else. Let her decide for herself. Good luck, brother. In sickness and in health till death do us part, homie. You need to discuss it with your wife. Let her make that choice with you. Doing it alone is not love. Let her decide if she wants you to leave her over this. If you leave her, you are not treating her with dignity. Very sorry you have this diagnosis. Okay, I looked at your profile and saw your diagnosis. It's too early to be thinking about premature death in this way. I was just diagnosed with a heart disease that the internet says has a life expectancy of 5 years. But when I asked my cardiologist, he laughed and reassured me that I would live a long and healthy life. Don't make any drastic plans until you hear that directly from a doctor. You got this. In sickness and in health. Till death do us part. Look, you're both married and adults. You made those vows a reason, and so did she. I get the feeling your wife would remember something like that. That you're there by your wife or husband's side 1000%. If I was you, I wouldn't even bring it up, as it may upset her or make her mind go over time and overthink, and that leads to no good every time. But if you want peace of mind, ask her what she wants. But I really think she remembers her vows and took them with her life, which is the sanctity of marriage. The worst thing you can do is take the choice away from her. Figure it out together, heart. Respect her enough to leave the decision with her. Don't take that power away from her. We all die someday. It could be tomorrow or 80 years from now. You just have a better idea of your expiration date. Talk to your wife and let her make her own decision, because she's the one who's going to have to live with it once you're gone. Well, it's not your decision to make on your own. It is hers and yours together. Tell her everything and let her decide what to do. I think it is heartless for you to unilaterally decide to leave and not even give her the chance to love you. A few good years with someone you deeply love is better than a lifetime without that precious gift. You need to have a sincere conversation and give her the choice. Don't leave if she still wants to be part of your life. That would be cruel. I was widowed in my 40s and I would give anything for another day with my husband. It's not your decision to make, my friend. People love it when you make decisions for them that affect their lives greatly. Maybe talk to her because she's your wife. You should inform her and let her make the choice. There is no guarantee of how long anyone will live, so you'd only be leaving her to more uncertainty. This is all probabilities and hypothetical, but no one really knows for certain. No one has a guarantee life will be fair to them. You're only operating with more information than most people. I think there is a value in living a life that you know will end sooner, that brings a perspective that most people may never have their whole life. That's something she may want to be a part of because she loves you and because that's what living is all about, knowing that someday it ends. Why do you believe you have the right to make that decision for her? I would want my husband to stay around, even if it means I have to help him and be horribly heartbroken when he dies. You can still have children with a sperm donor or through adoption. This is something for you to talk through with her, not internet strangers. I'm not one to give advice, so this is unsolicited. 20 years is a long time. If you make it 20, something medically could change, as it always does, and you could add on years. So don't base your decision around a hypothetical, because that's dumb. I'd say if you love your wife, just voice your concern and then truck on. Make sure your arrangements are in order if the worst happens. God forbid. But don't sacrifice what you love for the sake of sitting around and waiting to die. That's a waste of your life. You don't have the right to make a decision for her. Present her with what you've learned and allow her the grace to make her own decision. This is a decision you make with your wife, not for your wife. I think she deserves to choose between losing the love of her life now or in 20 years. I would choose the 20 years every time. I read this as sake, the Asian rice wine. No longer interested.